In this video, we'll be going through the most widely used method for solving quadratic equations, factoring. To factor an equation, you need to divide it up into two parts in a sort of reverse form of FOILing. Let's start with a simple example and walk through each part of the factoring process. The equation we have right here is 3x squared plus 6x equals 0. One of the easiest ways to factor an equation is to take a greatest common factor, or GCF. For those that don't know what a GCF is, think of it simply as a number or combination of numbers and variables that each term of an equation can be divided by. In the case of this equation, we can divide each term by 3x. So, we put the 3x at the front of the equation like so, and then divide each term by 3x. In doing so, the equation now reads as 3x times x plus 2 equals 0. Now that we have the equation factored, we can solve the equation. To do so, take each term with an x present and set that term equal to 0. Next, simply solve for x in each respective equation. For 3x equals 0, divide each side by 3 and you are left with x equals 0. For x plus 2 equals 0, subtract 2 from each side and you are left with x equals negative 2. Therefore, the solutions for 3x squared plus 6x equals 0 are x equals 0 and x equals negative 2. Many equations can be factored and then solved by simply utilizing a greatest common factor. However, in the case of x squared plus 7x plus 12 equals 0, there is not a GCF that can be taken out of the equation. Instead, we will use the x method. To start the method, set up two groups of parentheses equal to 0. Next, look at the coefficient of the x squared term. Since there is an understood 1 as the coefficient of x squared, fill in a single x to each group of parentheses like so. To find the remaining value in each parentheses, set up an x. Multiply the coefficient of x squared and the constant, the number not attached to a variable, together and place that number, in this case 12, into the top of the x. Next, take the coefficient of x, 7, and insert it into the bottom of the x. Now that we have the top and bottom set up, we can solve for the sides. To do that, we need to find two numbers that multiply to the top, 12, and equal the bottom, 7, when added together. The numbers 3 and 4 fit that description. When multiplied, they equal 12, and when added, they equal 7. Now that we have these numbers, we can insert them into the parentheses from before, like so. Since they are both positive numbers, an addition sign is placed between each x and number. Now, just like last time, set both factored phrases equal to 0 and solve for x. Thus, the solution is equal to x equals negative 3 and x equals negative 4. I'd like to thank you all for watching today. Feel free to watch any of our other videos on our channel and check out our website, link in the description. And as always, stay classy.